Hey, good afternoon. This is Bob from Trade Genius, the 12th of July, and I'm reporting for Next News Network. And I watched a video on Ruth Bader Ginsburg talking about how she would leave the country if Trump was elected president. And, just set that aside for a second. Is that, no standing justice needs to inject their opinions into anything because they're supposed to be the blind scales of justice. But, that never stops the left from trying to influence people. And, it's funny. I think Trump is absolutely driving the left batty, and the veil is coming off. The left does not like our form of government. They're actually advocating a form of world government that is as far away from the voters as you could possibly get, where the decisions are being made, so that they can remain unaccountable. We see a microcosm of that in Europe, where you have these bureaucrats who set themselves up and apart that just create the craziest rules to enrich and entrench and to provide power bases for themselves and the people who are supposed to be the smartest people in the world, because everybody else is too stupid, and market economics is chaotic and dirty and sloppy, and they like to have things nice and perfect. It's interesting. Most of these people don't believe in God, so they're trying to create some sort of heaven on earth. And in fact, what they can create instead is they create hell on earth. And so, that's why they're going crazy over Trump. Trump absolutely is going to end, or at least he's threatening to end the game in the party. And I think it just really scares them, which is really ironic if you know what Trump believes in. Trump is like a 1980s Democrat. He believes in he's a nationalist, he's a protectionist, he's for jobs for Americans, he's for the middle class. I don't know, if I was African American and I was a poor white guy, I would be like, hey, you know what, this is my guy, and yet he's been demonized for trying to bring, jobs back to the country. Really interesting to me. He wants to get us out of wars. Who could oppose that? And yet that's a dangerous concept now, to not intervene in other people's affairs. And it's amazing the oxes that are being gored here. And he wants to protect our borders. I mean, these are sane policies, and yet they're discussed as if he is insane. Now, I know there's a lot of issues with Trump, the way he conducts himself and how he does things. So I'm not really trying to sell you on that. But if you just put his name aside for a second and they read the policy statements, you'd be like, hey, this guy's a Democrat, and what we have now is a Democratic Party that was hijacked. It's hijacked by a progressive movement who literally wants to control your life, and they will micromanage you. Have you ever been to Germany and tried to open up a business or try to do anything? They micromanage everything. You got to have a license for everything. You have to have approval for everything. You ever hear the phrases, beg for forgiveness? Well, you can't beg for forgiveness in Europe. You have to ask for permission for everything, and everything costs a lot of money. And there's always people that have incentives to not let you succeed, because you're going to take money away from somebody else. So anyway, keep an eye on this. I mean, it should scare the hell out of you to let these people in charge. I know people are so worried about, I'm going to lose something. Well, you're going to lose everything. Okay. So, you need to probably stand up and get a step back here and say, you know what, maybe I have to walk away from some things personally so I can have liberty and freedom, because you're not going to have anything if these people, get what they want over time. Look into the markets. Yesterday I said, hey, oil looks like it's ready to bounce. And, with these robots now, things move really fast. And we've had almost a 5% higher move in oil, and which is the highest since April. And so now if it holds where it is, I think the July sell-off in oil is probably done. The only thing I don't know is if there's a front run because of what's going to go happen in Japan tonight. So I got to kind of wait and see. The market pushed up again. This is what happens. People try to short this. Human nature gets involved here. And people kind of short it. They want to say, hey, I short at the top. And then what happens is you end up getting just shorts get to cover higher and higher every day. So we're going to wait and see. The market's pushing up pretty hard. We're not shorting it. We're just biding our time. We sold some of our miners today because they got too high. Ag's moving. I did a blog post today. Go out to the Trade Genius site. It is I have some really good friends. I'm not going to name them here. You can see it on the Facebook link that they have. But these guys are weather experts, and they've been providing me some information. And I don't get the stuff in a vacuum. And I think the Midwest, low soil moisture and high heat and drought are coming. And today I think the market caught on to that, and we're having a pop again. I think the lows are in for corn and wheat. I think we're going to be able to make a run. So keep an eye on that. And once this gets going, if we start having early frosts and the harvest start getting caught short in the Northern Hemisphere, I think game is on. So I'll be back tomorrow. Go out to our website, tradegenius.co. We have videos every day, and we provide training. And then if you like what we have to offer, come join us. We make money most days, and even more important, we'll teach you how to trade and be effective independent traders. So Bob signing off. Have a great day for Next News Network. Bye-bye.